Hello everyone, Dovault here, and welcome back to the channel with another mini review. This time with the second in the Cang Toys Insecticon series, with Trans-Age Axeetle, aka not Hardshell, or Bombshell, depending on which generation you talk about. Now let's take a quick look at this packaging, if my camera will focus on it. And this is some of the highest quality cardboard I have dealt with, just like the other one we reviewed. But this one has far more of a metallic, reflective coat on it, which might not come off on camera, but it is very nice. They did holographic everything on this box. Well, as we take a look at it though, we have really cool product shots here on the front. Really cool. We have obligatory product shots on the side of the box as well. As well as a couple small ones on back with all your warning info in languages I cannot read. And some more shots of the detailing here. And just like the other one, he does come with a collectible card, as do all Cang Toys figures, as far as I'm aware. And we have this little card right here. Also foil, although I have it sleeved, so you might not be able to tell. My light rings are probably in the way. But yeah, same as the box art, really cool little bonus item. Now, let's get this guy out of his cardboard prison, and it is a nice opening experience. The lid for the box just slides off, yeah. And in this nice little clamshell here, you have your figure. So let's get him out of there and look at him and his accessories. Alright everyone, here we have the figure, Axeetle in all his glory, and I gotta say, he looks awesome. Although I do prefer the sleeker, slightly more human look of his brother, I really like this stylized Gundam look, and they even kept the hard shell face sculpt there on the front. Now, as for accessories, he technically comes with 3. First, he comes with his weapon, which is this really awesome, nicely detailed axe. Although I do wish it came with a long handle, but that's besides the point. Really nice, hefty, sturdy axe, which will become his horn in his beast mode, which I do not count as parts forming since it's also weapon storage. As for his other accessories, he comes with these 2 large shields, which come on the figure by default, and they can be positioned at lots of different places on the body. So I don't consider it parts forming if you decide to take these off and rearrange them for switching between modes, as well as for his robot mode here. But you can actually transform them without taking them off his arms, and I'll try to show that here in the transformation sequence. Now, let's take a quick look at the details. He has a very, very Gundam head sculpt, like taken straight out of it, with a really cool stylized face of what looks like Prime Hardshell. Really nice silver, gold, gunmetal, and purple detailing all over this figure, especially on the shoulders. I mean, not the shoulders, the shields. Die-cast metal here on the inside of the arms, as well as on the thighs. Actually, wait, no, not the thighs. The back of the knee. Sorry, this joint here. Really cool use of the insect legs to form the skirts here on both the front and the back. Really nice Ninja Turtle looking shield here on the back as well. Legs clean up relatively nicely, although I do wish there was a way to fill these gaps, but you're not really going to be looking at that too much. Got your rear skirts back here, and then just some really nice details on the legs. Now, unlike his brother, he did not work on his thighs. He is all calves. Only calves. Now, as for his weapon, you can put that in either hand. You'll just pop open the articulated fingers here, and you should be able to slide that into the slot there with the thumb. It can be a little hard for me to do this on camera with one hand. There we go. And then just close up that hand, and there's his axe in his hand. So he can, you know, decapitate some Autobots or something. You know, whatever it is big angry bug robots do. Now, as for these shields, as I said, you can put them in multiple places on the body. I'll try to showcase a few real quick. But it's easier if you actually take off the ball joint, because it is a big, hefty, sturdy ball joint. But this little arm here can come off, like so. And it just pops nicely back into this huge ball socket. Do that with one thumb. And then you can really just put this shield wherever. You could put it on his back in this port here, which might be easier to do if I just do it with the arm first. Yeah, you can slide that in there. And you could put both on the back if you wanted to give him a cape or some kind of wings. But what I like to do is actually put it down here on his arm. Let me pop this one off to make it easier on myself. Yeah, put this down here on his arm like so. And this hole can be a little tight to get it into. That's what she said. But yeah, slide that in there. You can pop one shield here on the arm, like so. Like a big old combat shield. And then take the other one and pop it on the shoulder one to give him this huge, massive, and I mean big. Hold on, sorry if I'm a little shaky here. There we go. You can give him this big armored shield as well. Another thing I like to do is take one of these shields and invert it on the weapon holding arm, and it just looks real cool. But yeah, you can really put these kind of wherever you want on the figure. Anywhere that's got a 5mm port. So you could also have him hold it in his hands if you wanted to. And you can even attach both shields to the same arm on either side, although it requires some crazy posing. And yeah, you can give him a giant double shield on his wrist as well. But yeah, this figure is amazing as far as what you can do with its customization and such. Now, for articulation, I'm going to remove the shields just to make it easier to show you guys. But these shields are on both a ball joint and a double hinge here. Well, not a double hinge, but a single hinge, but they can also rotate. Now, as for the arms, he cannot do a full 360. I lied. Yes, he can. He can do a full 360. His arms can go out that far. He can bend a little. Actually, he can bend all the way past 90 if you position his arm correctly. He has a wrist swivel, just a standard 360 rotation on the wrist. His arm at the bicep joint can do a full 360 if you get the clearance, like so. His head is on a ball joint and can do a full 360. He can look up that far and down that far. His little skirts here on his waist can move up, they can rotate, they can move out of the way completely. And his waist do swivel, although I have the backpack kind of getting in the way in mine. But he can do a full 360 if you move the backpack a little bit. His legs can't go out to the side very far unless you move the skirts, but they can go forward all the way. If you move the back ones, they can go back pretty far. He can bend well past 90 with a double jointed knee, although I'd have to move the backpack if I wanted to really get it out there, but you can do that. He has a ankle tilt, forward, back, side to side, and a rotation. Actually, no, I lied about the rotation. That is actually the thigh rotation that I was thinking of. Sorry if my hands are like super shaky. I am hunched over, bending over this camera, and I'm trying to do this in one take. And failing. Now, as for the back, he also does have this double-hinged coat tail that you could put down at the bottom if you wanted to. You can lift that up. And then the back skirts, they can move out to the side because they are legs as well in beast mode. They're also on a ball joint here and can move around freely. Now, that's all for articulation now. For size comparison, I do not have his brothers, his brother transformed right now, so I will just compare him in size to the same figures I did his brother against. So here he is with a Voyager class Prima Prime. Here he is with a Deluxe class Alchemist Prime. So you can see how they kind of scale together. Here he is next to Leader class Megatronus in his vehicle mode. So he is right about Leader or large Voyager scale without his shields. And by the way, his shields are taller than a Deluxe class. So pretty big shields. Alright, now that we got those comparisons out of the way, let's get into transformation here. I'm gonna put his shields back on real quick off camera and we'll get right to it. Alright guys, now without further ado, let's get into transformation. So there's a couple different ways you can go about this, but there are some things the instructions don't make very clear, so hopefully I can help with that. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the upper torso. So what you're going to do is you're going to rotate the head 180 and point the chin down as far as you can. Then you're going to come to the backpack here, fold out the back, and you're going to double hinge this up, and it's going to open up the back. You double hinge this up as high as it'll go, and then you're going to bring it up over the head. You might have to straighten the head back out. And these two notches here are going to slide down into some notches here on the chest. It's a very tight fit, but there you go. That is the entire front of the bug already done. Now, for the arms, what you're going to do is you're going to rotate the arm 180. You're going to bring the elbow to where it sits like that in the back of the arm. Same thing on the other side. Going to rotate the arm, slide that into that gap and straighten it out. Then to make things easier on yourself for later, since we are going to keep the shields on for this transformation sequence, you're going to want to take the arm, the little, if you can see it, this arm here, and you're going to bring that forward like 45 degrees and then straighten the shield back down. Do the same thing on the other side. And you can ignore that step if you decide to take the wings off. Now what you're going to do is you're going to detach this here to release the shoulder. It notches in right there. You're going to rotate this out. Then you're going to straighten the arm out. Sorry, did that wrong. You're actually going to start rotating the shoulder back, like so. It is on a rotation joint there. Then you can straighten out the arm, making sure that this is coming down as far as you can. And then you're going to continue that rotation until the 5mm port for the wings is now facing forward. And as you do that, you're going to want to make sure the arm slides underneath this panel here. So it's going to slide in like so. And then you can just bring this down on top of it to where the hand sits nicely right in here. Now do the same thing on the other side. So detach, rotate, rotate on this one, rotate arm, and then continue bringing it back. Continue throwing it back until it fits nicely underneath there, where they're sitting like that. And that is that part done. Now for my favorite part, the legs. I love the way these legs work. So first what you're going to do is rotate the waist 360. You're going to go ahead and take these back skirts and you're going to straighten this out on this joint and point them down. Same thing on this side. Rotate out, point down. Then for the legs, down here, what you're going to do is, first, you're going to take these front skirts here. These are going to come up, over, like that, on this rotation joint here. Move them, splay them out of the way, and then rotate them around. Oh, don't mind that. They're on very nice ball joints, but they do come out nice and smoothly, so they do snap in very easily. So if they pop out on you, they are super easy to get back on. But, you know, just rotate this around, get them out of the way. Now, for my favorite part of this transformation as a whole, what you're going to do is going to rotate the legs 180, like so, at the thigh joint. Then, I'm going to flip it around here. Going to flip out what will be the insect legs here. And then, you're going to essentially break the knee. You're going to bend it back at this joint here, which will allow you to start double hinging the leg up until this notch on the crotch goes into this slot on the inside of the thigh. And boom, or sorry, calf. And boom, that's that side. Then you're going to take the foot here, and you're going to push it up to where this notch slot here goes into this notch here. And it's going to sit nice and flush in there. I don't know if you can see that, guys. There you go. Flip the toe around, point it down. That is one leg done. Do the same thing on the other side. So break the knee, double hinge up until it can slide into that notch, which can be a little hard on camera. There we go. And they'll pop in. Pop this back. Rotate that around. Go ahead and rotate the legs out. And then the final step that brings this all together is you're just going to take the entire upper torso and it's going to swing back. Make sure that these are splayed out and out of the way on either side. Push it down, and then these tabs here are going to go in these notches here on the legs. And it's going to fit super nicely. Going to slide in like that, do the same thing on that other side. Make sure it's nice and pressed in, and boom, there we go. So now you just pop out the legs here. Position them kind of however you want. Like so. Same thing on the other side. Pop out the legs. Sorry if I'm bumping the camera there. And look at them little toes. Alright. Then you got your big old beetle. Then you can kind of just position the wings however it is you want. I like to have them kind of out like this. And since the shoulder hinge is now available to you, you can also push them back if you wanted to. Kind of do this however you want. I'm just going to position them in the flying position. And then lastly, you'll bring in your axe here and shove that into the nose. And there you go. There we have our beetle friend in his beast mode. And this is a dope looking beetle. Definitely looks like Hardshell. Need to figure out if I have his brother sitting around for size comparison. I don't think I do, actually. I think I temporarily put him in storage. But we can compare him to a leader class real quick before we get into the details. Here he is next to a leader class. So he is a little bit bigger than a modern leader vehicle mode. And for one more comparison here, I have him with one of my previous reviews with the Alpha Trion. And yeah, he's a pretty big guy, pretty hefty bug. I have pretty big hands and he takes up the whole thing. But let's take a quick look at the details. So we have that face that was the chest before. Side cleans up surprisingly nice, although there is a little gappy. But you still get the silhouette of an insect abdomen. You have your 6 legs all on ball joints, fully articulatable. You have a ball joint here, hinge here, and a hinge here. Same goes for these. They have a hinge here, ball joint here, hinge here. And then the back ones, ball joint here, hinge here, and another hinge, vertical hinge here. But he can actually support his weight pretty well. Then you have the big old wings you had before, and what was the back, now forming the abdomen here. And that big old axe forming his horn. I believe this is a Hercules beetle, although I could be wrong. But yeah, that is Cang Toys Axeetle, aka Not Hardshell. And I'm loving this series so far. I already have the new one, the last one, which is actually based off of Beast Wars Scorponok on pre-order. It is the next in the set, and I think it is slightly larger than both of them, being a little closer to maybe a small commander class. And I am thoroughly looking forward to that, and there are some in-color images now available that I might try to throw up on screen for the future review right up there somewhere. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, I hope you'll check it out, and if you want to get hold of this figure right now, it should still be available over on ShowZ Store, not sponsored, and I think it only goes for a little bit less than a Modern Leader class if you want to pick it up. But it's an amazing figure with a simple transformation, which is saying something for Cang toys, like stupidly simple. I love turning this guy back and forth. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and if you want to really help me out, check out my main gaming channel. I stream over there pretty frequently, so it would mean a lot if you check that out. Also, if the option is available to you, I check out the hype feature, or do the same on the main channel. I do have a Ko-Fi and a Patreon, although only do the Patreon if you really want to support my channels that I plan on doing. But if you want to buy me an energy drink for future reviews or for my other channel, feel free to use the Ko-Fi. And on my main channel, I do have channel memberships and super chats and all that set up, so feel free if you want to support. But without further ado, we're probably going to have to end this review here. Pretty rapid fire one and a little messy. My hands were a little shaky today. Can't be helped, but it is what it is. But I am rambling, so I hope to see you in the next review, where we hopefully should be reviewing the new Toy Easy World War II Megatron, also known as Titan. And I hope to see you at that review as well, and hopefully the next video with the final member of this team as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next review, and I hope I stop rambling. Goodbye. Dovault out.